Hello guys, welcome back to another video with the Frontline Fitness Department. Thank you for coming back. I hope you're all staying well, hope you're looking after each other, hope you are managing as well as you can given the current situation. So today we're talking about squats. Get in, have some of that. If you have poor mobility or you are particularly obese, and it's not me being fat shaming, that's not me being horrible, that is a statement of fact. If you have poor mobility or you are obese, it can be difficult for you to get into a decent and deep squat. So today I want to help a few people understand how they can scale that back, how they can develop it so we can get into better positions so that we can get the most out of our exercise. Okay, big thing for squats, what we're looking at is that our hip crease comes below our knees. So from the side, the squat is coming down here. We've not got leant over like this. We're up, nice and tall. Our knees track over our toes. So it's not this, it's this position here. So we're nice and high, okay? Maybe you can't get into that position, and quite a common thing can be due to weight distribution and ankle mobility and calf mobility. So we get tight ankles, tight calves, we're naturally inclined to try and tip backwards when we're doing it. So what can we do to try and help us with that? I'm gonna move this out of the way. We'll come back to this bad boy in a minute, not quite now. So first thing I'd say is everybody's got somewhere they can sit at home, haven't they? That generally is the problem with a lot of us. So grab a seat, sofa, whatever it is. This is essentially a box squat. All I'm going to get you to do is stand in that position with feet around about shoulder width apart. So starting up for the squat, you can have your feet around about hip or sorry, my hips aren't that small, hips or shoulder width apart. If you want to turn your toes out slightly, it's absolutely fine. It's finding a position that's comfortable for you. Don't stand like you've got duck feet though. So we're going to set up in that position and we're going to sit back. So initiating with a little, trying to press a button on the wall behind us, like you're doing a little bit of a twerk, a bit of a Nicki Minaj. That comes out like that, you're trying to press that button, then we're going to squat down and our butt is just going to touch that seat and then we're going to stand up again. What I'd rather you didn't do is take a sit back down, have a little siesta, get the remote, pop Netflix on, other channels are available, stand back up and go from there. As soon as your butt touches that seat, keep that tension on, constant tension, touches it, straight back up again. Sit back down, straight back up again. Okay, if you can get lower than that, brilliant. Find a position, a box perhaps, or something that is a little bit lower, but nice and stable, that isn't going to move, that you can do that on, and then progress from there. So what else can we do? Next, we can do essentially what's a goblet squat. So you could use anything with any reasonable amount of weight or something that's going to counterbalance the weight that you've got. So if you've got a dumbbell or a kettlebell at home, absolutely awesome, or even a medicine ball. So take it however you want. I prefer to take the goblet squat with my hands on the upper dumbbell, upper part of the dumbbell here, or take the kettlebell by the horns, turn it upside down, whichever works for you. Okay, if you're unsure, give us a shout, I will explain that. So holding that kettlebell or dumbbell from the front, squat down, and what this is going to do is this is going to counterbalance you trying to tip backwards. If I put that there, you know, so I have to come forward a little bit. If I pick this up, this is nice. I can sit in this position all day. It's quite happy. That's enabling me to get into a much deeper squat. Lovely. Okay, if you haven't got any equipment at home, any dumbbells, I'm going to go ahead and assume you've got a broom or a mop, or you can go and get a stick from somewhere. Okay, so you can take that, hold it out in front of you, and come down. What that does is that's not a lot of weight. That's not particularly heavy. I'll give you that. And that is, I think it's about 8 or 10 kilos, something like that. That's going to stick your arms out in front of you, which is going to give you that better positioning for the squat. If you find it's still not quite enough, you're somewhere between that and being able to do a squat, if your room allows for it, poke that stick out lengthways. That's going to create more weight out there. Not so much that if you've got the broom at the other end, it's going to knacker your wrists out, but step down. That's going to allow you to get even deeper into your squat by using that. Lovely bit of work, that, isn't it? So finally, what I want to show you are get yourself a couple of books, a couple of little plates or something like that. So in my squat position here, I'm about hip to shoulder width apart. I've turned my toes out slightly because that's what's comfortable for me. I'm going to press the button on the back of the wall, Nicki Minaj. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to come back up. If I can't quite get to that, watch this, is magic. Put my heels on those books or weight plates or whatever small sturdy structure. Only has to be probably about half an inch to probably not even an inch, but depending on what your mobility is like. But something small, like that small weight plate here, exactly the same movement, sit back. Look how much higher that is. Look, because my heels are raised slightly, my ankles don't need to flex as much. I don't need as much mobility in my calves. And I can sit here quite happily for absolutely ages. So starting off with box squat, get to that position. Then if you need to, you can use the goblet squat with a dumbbell, a weight, a broom, mop handle, whatever it is. And you can also use a couple of weight plates behind you as well. You can use those in conjunction as well. Let's say you've managed to get the box squat, you've got as low as you can get with your kit, but you actually want to try the goblet squat now, but you're not quite there. Stick your feet on that plate and go from there. These are so many brilliant ways you can get yourself into better squat positions. If you're not sure of where to go from whatever point, if you want a little bit more advice, or you need me to explain anything a little bit further, because I will talk for days, give me a shout over at Frontline Fitness mailbox or in any of these social media channels. Have a brilliant day, stay safe, look after each other.